All right, listen up. This is a Code Ninja security advisory. We're going shields up on an active zero-day threat, so this is an urgent bulletin.
Okay, let's get straight to it. This is a Priority 1 briefing. We are tracking a critical, remotely exploitable vulnerability, and this advisory contains the intelligence you need to defend your perimeter.
We are now initiating immediate threat identification. The very first thing you need to do is figure out if your assets are in the blast radius. On screen is the triage data. The vulnerability is CVE 2026-3811. The vendor is Tenda, and it specifically impacts the FH1202 model router. Now here's the key part. If you are running firmware version 1.2.0.14.408, your system is vulnerable. I need you to confirm your asset inventory right now.
So why are we making this public? Our objective here is twofold. First, we need to get you immediate, actionable intelligence for mitigation. And second, we're applying public pressure on the vendor to get a patch out the door. This is exactly what coordinated vulnerability disclosure is for.
And just look at the speed of this disclosure. The CVE record was received at 5:16 a.m. Just a few hours later, by 11:26 a.m., NIST had already completed its analysis. This is a fast-moving threat, and it all materialized in just a matter of hours.
Okay, before we proceed to the technical deep dive, we need to do a standard operational security check. It's absolutely critical that we maintain a secure intelligence channel. So, I need you to complete the following 3 steps. 1. Establish your intel channel. That means subscribing to this feed and, just as important, enabling notifications. This is non-negotiable for real-time alerts. 2. Acknowledge you've received this advisory with a like. This confirms you have the data. And 3. Report your status in the comments. A simple patched or vulnerable helps us all gauge the blast radius. Comms check complete. We are now moving to the technical breakdown of the threat vector. Pay attention. This is the core of the advisory. The vulnerability has a CVSS 3.1 base score of 8.8. Let that sink in. In operational terms, that is a high severity rating. This is not some minor bug. It represents a critical failure in this device's security. This table breaks down exactly why that score is so high. First, the attack vector is network, which means it is remotely exploitable from anywhere. Privileges required are low, and attacker just needs basic user access to get in. And crucially, user interaction is none. The attack requires absolutely no action from the target, which makes it completely invisible. So what's the flaw, technically speaking? It's a classic stack-based buffer overflow. An attacker sends a manipulated page argument to the from P to P list filter function. The router fails to check the size of this data, so the attacker can write past the buffer's boundary on the stack, letting them overwrite critical data and hijack the program's entire execution flow. The impact of a successful exploit. It's catastrophic. We are looking at a total loss of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. You gotta understand, the attacker can steal all your data, modify any file on the system, and even render the device completely inoperable. It is a full system compromise. And I have to be crystal clear about this. This is not a theoretical threat. There is a functional proof of concept exploit public on GitHub right now. That means threat actors, from script kiddies to advanced groups, have access to the code to weaponize this vulnerability immediately. This brings us to the most critical phase of this briefing, your defensive countermeasures. These are your immediate action protocols. So, what is your immediate action protocol? What are the precise steps you need to take to defend your network right now? First, understand this. The official patch status from Tenda is unknown. There is no fix available at this time. You cannot afford to wait. You must assume you are on your own and take action at the network level. Here are your 3 primary mitigation directives. 1. Isolate the router's web management interface from the public internet. It should never have been exposed in the first place. 2. Restrict all access to that interface. Whitelist trusted local IP addresses only. Deny all others. 3. Monitor your network traffic. Specifically, watch for abnormally large HTTP requests going to the /goform/P2P list filter endpoint. That is your indicator of an active attack. We're now concluding the advisory. The intelligence has been delivered. Now it's about execution. Look, we operate under a simple code. When a vendor is silent and a working exploit is public, it becomes our ethical duty to make sure that you, the user, have the intelligence you need to protect your systems. We disclose to defend. It's that simple.
This concludes the security briefing. Execute your mitigation protocols immediately. Stay secure.